What do I do to be green in living in Kits? Well, I try not to buy any new clothes. There are so many stores where you can buy gently used items, and I try to go there, and I try to upcycle clothing of my own that I'm ready to give away into those places as well. I try to buy food with as little packaging as possible, though that's really hard. I'd say that's my biggest green complaint, living really anywhere in the world, but here as well, for such a green place, it's really hard to buy food that isn't packaged in a bunch of plastic. But when I can, I try to avoid doing that. And I reuse any packaging that I can rather than, buying plastic storage items.
So yes, we compost a lot. We walk a lot, except when I'm dropping the kids off to school. Those are the two big things, I think. Lots of stroller walks. Trying to get them to garden a lot. Learning to seed flowers and. Oh, yeah, that I would say that's it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, we can do that. Is that good?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
Okay, say hi. Can you wave or something?
Say hi. Can you say hi?
That's good.
Hi.
And I've lived on 3rd Avenue for about 37 years. I've, wandered every little bit of Kitsilano and seen changes, and for better and for worse. And as far as the environment goes, I make a line of greeting cards, and they're printed on recycled paper made by a company in Richmond. I drink coffee from the coffee houses. I mean, the paper is not recycled, but it should be. And just your doing this brings to mind that we all have to be more careful about our overconsumption of goods, because basically Canada creates pretty much the highest garbage per person in the whole world, and that's a curious fact.
Well, many of these things are very, very old. This is like 10, 15 years old. I bought it new then, but I've been wearing it ever since, and I'm just very lucky that it was well made, and it goes with so many things because I wear it constantly. And it ties together even a schleppy little outfit such as I have on otherwise.
I think you look good.
Thank you.
Okay. Are the used stores at Kits, or are they elsewhere in Vancouver?
There are quite a few. There's some very posh ones, like luxury resale. But then there are ones that are just a little more everyday things, and you can go hunting there, take yourself on a little date and go hunting and find plenty of little things that somebody else gave it away for some reason, but it looks brand new to me. So yeah, it's kind of nice. You can get shoes there as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did really well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and what do I do for the environment? I wash my plastic bags at home, so I use my plastic bags more than once. It's a little bit extra work, but I like to save the money and save the planet.
When I think about the environment, I try to walk places and ride my bike instead of driving. Sometimes I take the bus. Sometimes I just walk around with this pouch carrier. And I also recycle and clean out all the containers to make it easier to recycle. And we reuse a lot of stuff and try to buy secondhand toys for my kids when I can.
I'm just try to be green the world. I like as use the recycling, and always I prepare to use the public transportation. Day I can think about it, I can do. I try to do that to keep the green world. That's it.
Kitsilano is probably the most beautiful neighborhood in the world. People here are really nice, and it's an amazing place to stay. And in order to just contribute and be a little bit more greener, my wife and I, well, we're really conscious about our consumption. We try to recycle whenever possible. We actually don't even own a car. Like this, the neighborhood is so well connected. We just use a ride share or use one of those city bikes or a bus wherever possible. Apart from that, we don't use plastic anymore. We've really kind of strapped down on that consumption. And yeah, that's about it with all the things that we do to try and be green.
I live in Kitsilano and lived here since 1996. I noticed that when I do a lot of walking around the area, and I noticed that there's people littering, not all the time, but sometimes, and I find that quite distressing. So what I do is when I see this, I pick whatever's off the ground. And I will either throw it in the garbage or I take it home and put it into recycling. I live in a condo and I have all recycling bins. So I do this every day. If I have stuff, I put it in recycling. It never goes in the garbage unless it's not accepted into recycling. So I think it's very important for people to do this.
I'm disappointed with the recycling program, I think, in Vancouver, because I heard that a good 60 or 70% ends up in a landfill. So what's the point of recycling if it's just going to end up in a landfill? To me, it just sounds very counterproductive. And I don't know how we're going to fix that situation. So it's almost like when I spend all the time rinsing out my jars, flattening my plastic, knowing that my efforts are going in vain because it's probably going to end up in a landfill. So that's my beef with recycling. That's all.
And we are used to take a bag like this, and then just to keep using, and instead of to one time use plastic bag. So I really refuse, and family, and I hope everyone refuse the use to plastic, and even the plastic products for containers. So I'm not so much refused, but really so I think that we should pay attention to that. And I hope everyone realize and take action from their own heart.
Talking green. What do we do that's green? We, first of all, we reduce, then we reuse, then we recycle, don't we? Because recycling plastics is the last resort. First of all, you shouldn't be using the plastics. And we're gardeners. I'm a landscaper. So I compost everything and make sure that it goes back into the soil. It goes full circle, doesn't it? And Winifred knows how to recycle, don't you, Winifred? And sometimes she recycles cardboard and paper that she's not supposed to. And so she crushes things that she's not supposed to and she puts them in the recycling bin. She's not very helpful. Anyway, that's our little piece on being green. Thank you.